President Trump revealed plans for the National Independence Day parade, and it's going to be fierce. You got music, you got flyovers, fireworks, Muppets, and tanks. Yeah, lots of tanks. Plus a speech by Trump himself. Me, I don't like any parades. At my height, it's all just the backs of people's necks. But damn, you could set your watch to the media response.
What is the message Donald Trump is trying to send by rolling tanks down Constitution Avenue? Who is that message to? It's certainly not to tyrants, because he likes tyrants. He loves tyrants. It's not to Putin. It's not to Kim Jong-un. It's not to the Saudis. Is it to our friends? Is it to Western democracies, who he doesn't particularly like? Or is it to us? Is it to the resistance in this country?
Those in distress know that the help is on their way, and our enemies know their time has come.
The message is a threat, but it's always a threat when you roll out your military. But it's to whom is the threat? And I suspect that the threat is to his fellow Americans.
Is she psychotic? Yes. Trump derangement syndrome counts as psychosis. He's threatening Americans with tanks. He's not threatening Americans. He's threatening illegal immigrants. No, I'm kidding. Jokes. I'm kidding. These people will never be happy with anything, we say. Anything Trump does, it's incredible. Remember, Trump, he originally wanted to throw an epic military parade after being inspired by evil dictator and democratically elected French President Emmanuel Macron's Bastille Day parade in 2017.
And this is nauseating, Chris, because this is not just obnoxious tackiness. This is actually dangerous because it's fundamentally un-American. Clearly, Donald Trump wants to transmit a message of his strength because he perceives himself as being seen as weak around the world, which he is.
This was something that the president saw. It was about bolstering himself up, looking like a dictator from another nation, or a time that's forgot.
I just say, I find it hilarious watching these montages of the huffing and puffing media, because they don't realize that President Trump has taken up residence in their heads, that he is their son. Their world revolves around him. They can't get out of bed in the morning unless he's up tweeting already, because he gives them life. He has turned them into ranting and raving lunatics who hate fireworks and the 4th of July, right? Which is crazy.
You know, that baby Trump balloon is going to be on the mall. They've got Trump sitting on the pot on the mall. I'm like, why would anyone turn the 4th of July into a polarizing event in the midst of tremendous political polarization that exists in our country?
He's not polarizing anything. You guys did.
Oh, you guys
You
did.
politicized it. You're the ones polarizing it. If you have a celebration of our American military and you have some F-22s and some Abrams tanks and some flyovers, if you guys on the left are offended by that and that you think the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, is going to roll the tanks over the resistance because he thinks it's Tiananmen Square, you're the ones politicizing the event. He's just trying to show off all the hardware we bought.
This is about Donald Trump.
No, it's not.
It is if you're wearing the Trump glasses. You're wearing Trump glasses.
Okay, turning the 4th of July into a Trump campaign rally, and you're saying it's about the military.
No, it's about the nation, and it's about the 4th of July. He happens to be the president.
I think I see a little tuft of kind of orange blonde hair poking out of your ear because he's so far in your head, too.
You think so? No.
What in the actual hell is wrong with these people? You know, they didn't want the military parade, and you know what? There won't be one. So you think they'd be happy, but of course they're not. They are miserable people who think America is unjust and indecent, and America is an abomination, and they are ashamed of this country. But rather than leave the country, right? Leave America. But rather than leaving to a place that they might like better, I don't know, I might recommend the lovely socialist paradise called Venezuela. They instead have made it their mission to make everyone else here as miserable as they are. I think it actually causes them physical anguish to realize that there are actually people here who love America. That sickens them. And I say they're the ones who are sick. And we all know the way the leftist mob operates is by going more and more extreme until things that would have been out of the question a few years ago are totally normal today. It's called the Overton window. But we cannot let them push us into accepting this self-loathing anti-patriotism as normal.
That smirking scorn you find whenever patriotism rears its old-fashioned head. Just the name, Salute to America, is enough to make journalism school grads puke. Yes, patriotism is easy to smear, because to the media it feels so old, like remnants of a bygone era, be it ribbon candy, penny farthings, or Joe Biden. How can you salute something so inherently rotten, they wonder?
Move! Mom, do you want to argue with? Why didn't you wrestle?
Just saw a huge fireball. Just saw a huge fireball.
6, 7, 8. America was never great. America was never great. America was never great.
The mockery is exactly the opposite response the media offers those who malign the nation's symbols. In fact, it's a safe bet that the same people heaping loads of ridicule on a July 4th parade are also heaping loads of praise on Colin Kaepernick, Nike, and athletes who scorn the national anthem. It's the same mockery reserved for Trump.